Hi, I'm Angana Banerjee from Divine India Youth Association and welcome to our YouTube channel Brahmarishi Vishwamitra Sodh Sansthan. I hope you all are doing well. I'm really glad you are here today. Let's take a few minutes to talk about something that shapes the lives of millions of peoples: caste, gender, and economic inequality. These aren't just big academic words. They affect real people, real dreams, and real opportunities. Whether we notice it or not, these inequalities are part of the world around us, and it's time we understand them deeply and think about how we can change them together. So, why does this topic matter? Because inequality limits human potential. Caste divides people based on birth, something none of us can control. Gender inequality limits half of the world's population from reaching their full potential, and economic inequality creates walls between the rich and the poor, walls that block access to education, healthcare, and basic dignity. When these three come together, they form a cycle that keeps people trapped. A person born in a low income family facing caste discrimination and gender bias may never get the same chances others take for granted, and that's not just unfair, it's loss for the entire society. Every time we let inequality win, we lose talent, creativity, and humanity itself. Let's look at this with some real world perspective and research based understanding. Firstly, caste inequality. In many parts of South Asia, the caste system has historically separated people into hierarchies. A 2020 report by Oxfam India showed that people from marginalized castes still earn about 30% less than those from upper castes, even when they do the same kind of work. This shows how deep rooted and invisible caste discrimination can be in workplaces, schools, and even social interactions. Secondly, gender inequality. According to the World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report 2024, it will take over 130 years to close the global gender gap if progress continues at the current rate. Women are still paid less than men for the same job. They are underrepresented in leadership roles and overburdened with unpaid household work. In rural areas, girls often drop out of the school early, not only because they can't learn, but because society tells them their place is at home. Thirdly, economic inequality. The gap between the rich and the poor keeps growing. The top 1% of the world owns more wealth than the bottom 50% combined. This isn't just about money, it's also about access to opportunities. A child born in poverty often starts lives miles behind with limited access to nutrition, education, and healthcare. And when caste or gender discrimination adds to that, inequality becomes almost impossible to escape. Lastly, interconnection. These forms of inequality are not separated. A low income woman from a marginalized caste faces triple discrimination: social, economic, and gender based. Understanding this intersectionally helps us see that real equality means addressing all these three together, not one at a time. Imagine a world where no one is judged by caste, where women lead fearlessly, and where every person, rich or poor, has a fair chance to dream and succeed. That world isn't impossible. It begins with awareness, empathy, and action from you and me. Let's be the generation that refuses to accept inequality as normal. Let's build a society where dignity is not a privilege but the birthright. The more we lift others up, the higher humanity rises together. Now, what can we do about it? Inequality isn't just a government issue, it's a human issue. and all of us can play a role. Firstly, education for all. Education is the most powerful equalizer. When every child, regardless of caste, gender, or income, has access to quality education, we break the chain of inherited inequality. Support local schools, scholarships, and awareness programs that focus on inclusion. Secondly, equal opportunities at work. Employers can promote equality by hiring fairly, providing equal pay, and creating safe spaces for women and marginalized communities. Even simple things like using inclusive language and respecting cultural diversity makes a big difference. Thirdly, economic empowerment. Encourage entrepreneurship and vocational training among underprivileged groups. When people earn with dignity, they gain not just income but confidence and independence. Fourthly, changing mindsets. Law can punish discrimination, but only society can end it. Start small. Speak up against biased jokes, include people who feel left out, and question stereotypes. Real change begins when we challenge our own thinking. Lastly, policy and participation. Vote for leaders who promote equality, social policies like free education, healthcare, and gender equality programs. Change becomes real when it's supported from the bottom up and the top down. Thank you so much for listening. If today's message touched you, share it, start a conversation because every voice matters and together we can turn awareness into action. Let's choose equality, compassion, and unity for our society, our nation, and our shared humanity.